everyone, welcome back to the Severed Chains Devstream. I've got Drew here with me tonight, and we're going to continue our work on co-op.
Hello,
Say hi,
hello.
Drew. I guess you do. How's everyone doing? How is our volume levels? Is the music good level? Yes, time to party hardy. Alright, I'm trying a new setup here, so that's why we're a couple minutes late. Get all of my stuff rearranged here. I don't have a very good streaming setup right now, but yeah, hopefully it works out well. Music could go down a tiny pitch. All right, drop that down a little bit more. All right.
This is the third stream relating to multiplayer, I believe.
Yes. Yep, this is the third one. The first one we had you here, and we got some very basic networking stuff done in some pretty janky fashion. Next stream, I believe you couldn't show up, so
Yep.
Icarus subbed in, and we found some very strange things related to locales that derailed us a bit, but we got things cleaned up a little bit. And currently, the server is clients are able to connect to the server, so like Drew could connect to me, and then I can start a battle, which will transfer my game state over to Drew, and start a battle with the correct encounter and battle stage on both of our computers.
Do you have a cat nearby?
I can see Strider right now. Strider, come here.
Okay. Well, the viewers are threatening to leave if we don't show them a cat soon.
All right, Strider. Strider, jump up. He's camera shy. Okay, I didn't show Aurelia on the last stream. This is Aurelia. She is demon child. You can probably tell because she's orange. She likes to live better than me. She doesn't want to be on my lap. Strider, come here. Come here. Come here.
I'm getting so many ideas all of a sudden to like incorporate the cats into an LOD stream. Like if you have like a cat tower and then dangling from one of the platforms is a little moon that never sets and the cat is pawing at the moon. You're like, no.
Peter, why are you always so weird whenever I am starting to stream? Usually he wants to literally sleep on my lap for the entire goddamn day. And he is a big cat. Like he barely fits on my lap and he's just like constantly getting up and doing circles and like smashing his face into my hands. And then as soon as I try and call him over for a stream, he doesn't want to come.
Oh,
Come here.
Cool.
Come here.
Maybe we can keep that viewer.
Yeah, he's camera shy. It's all right.
All right.
We'll
We need
see
to
if he...
create some cat plushies for when they don't cooperate, so we always have a cat on stream.
Yeah, I'll try and get him. He's like standing just out of arm's reach, rubbing his face all over stuff. Maybe Freya will want to come. Freya, come here.
Oh, it was Chocolate who was making that threat. So if we can't produce a cat, maybe we can produce a goose, and that actually rhymes. So we'll produce a goose.
All right, here's Freya. This is Freya. You saw her on the last stream too. She has recently started wanting to sit on my lap too. She was never a lap cat until like a few months ago, and then she discovered the joys of lap sitting and has turned into a bit of a menace to society.
Mm-hmm. Change that name to Dennis.
I missed the chat because I've been trying to wrangle cats. One orange brain cell is probably being generous for Aurelia. She is one of the dumbest ass cats I have ever met in my entire life, and I say that with affection because all cats are pretty close to being the dumbest ass cat. But, you know, keyboard cat 2024. No, we didn't start early. This is when we usually start, Icarus. Chocolate, you are a menace.
All right, how should we start tonight?
All right, so I suppose we should actually do some coding. So I think what we're gonna do is actually try implementing some basic controls. If you saw the title card for this stream, we'll maybe try and see if we can get using items or something like that working. Okay.
Can't wait to have you use a healing fog on me, and then my character dies.
I wonder if that still happens. I mean, we haven't seen it happen in a long time. I think since your fight with the Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken fight is all I remember.
Isn't
But
in the frame.
unrelated to LOD, but to related other games, healing is meant to have a negative effect in some games where there's a presence of both holy and undead forces. So, for example, Kingdom Under Fire, you have your normal human soldiers in the regular campaign, and they sometimes can be given a holy skill. And the stronger the holy skill is, the more healing they can put out. And if you target one of the enemy faction's ghoul troops, the ghouls are undead. The holy magic, instead of healing, does damage. So holy is just a damage type for undead. So technically, that could be a thing that someone mods into LOD if they wanted to make undead allergic to holy magic or healing.
And we would need to make holy magic.
We don't need to make undead. We already have. We have. Is it literally called undead? The ones they're holding like a head with, it looks like a head in a bag or something, and they cause fear.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
There's 3 of them. They often appear in threes in Mayfill. Yeah, they would definitely take damage to healing potions. That could be combined with your. I think you had soft plans for target anywhere, so you could like target an ally with burnout or target an enemy with the healing item.
Yeah, we're going to rework how the targeting works because it's pretty janky in retail. All right, so we need to basically figure out how to disable the action menu when someone else is choosing their action. That's what I'm looking for here now.
Well, that brings me to our first poll of the evening. You all know I bring you the best polls. Yeah. I'm also planning in advance because I have my 10 to 20 minute AFK at some point in the future of this stream, I assume. So let's get a poll out right away. Okay. So for those of you who tuned into one of the old playthroughs, you already know what the correct answer is. But who is your favorite character that would be weak to healing items? Undead, Hyperskeleton, or Miranda? Cast your votes.
God, the names of some of the enemies in the game are great. Hyper skeleton.
If Miranda's any less than 100%, I'm gonna flip a table. Oh, someone picked. Oh!
Oh no,
It's.
no, no. That's oh no.
Can
Oh,
people change their vote? Because it went to
poll's
100 and
going
then back
crazy.
down to 75%. So I guess people can change their vote before committing or something. Yeah, some people are not into the custom culture we've been building for the last few years.
Get your votes in, everybody. Come on.
Oh, now I
Very
didn't actually
important.
expect Miranda to get 100%, but if she loses this poll, I will be very disappointed. That was like one of the best moments we ever had. It was so incredibly like you and I were so in sync. We said almost the exact same sentence at the exact same time, apart from time delay on the stream. Phone glitched and Miss Miranda. Well, how could you, Matthew? Oh my god.
Oh
This
my
is a
God,
serious.
Miranda's tied with Undead.
Oh no.
Quick, everyone, get your votes in.
I can't use favorite and Miranda together unless there is least in between.
All right.
I
Well,
have to.
that got rid of part of the UI, but not the part that I wanted it to.
Well, that's okay. We're gonna give it a whole new UI anyway, right?
Um, is anybody else's video just I've got YouTube open in a tab here, and
Yeah.
the video is like having a seizure. It's like shrinking and growing rapidly. Uh, is that just me, or is that happening to anybody else?
Well, we're getting an error on the dashboard that we're not getting enough video from you to maintain smooth streaming, so you probably need to up your bitrate.
Oh, my bitrate's fine.
Okay.
I've got a perfect connection, no dropped frames. It's not using nearly my cap, so I don't know.
As long as you're at least at 5,000 or so, you should be fine.
Okay, so I think it's just me because I've got the video partially scrolled off screen, but if I scroll back over to like the full video on the screen, it stops wiggling. So I think it's just YouTube being dumb on my end. Moving on. We need to find the battle menu renderer.
All right. Out of fear that more votes may go to a non-party member, I am ending the poll. Who is your favorite character that would be weak to healing items? Miranda was in the lead with 41%. Undead, a close second with 35%. And then Hyperskeleton with 23%. So obviously, we just need to make a mod where only Miranda dies to healing items. I think that's
Makes
the
sense.
takeaway. Oh. If anybody asked me, hey, 4 years ago, would you see any of this happening now? And I would be like, nope, can't imagine. Dramod is the future. Dramod for emulator is the future, and that's all we got. Which would be great, but so hacky.
Okay, I think I see a reasonable way to do this. Earlier, stop trying to climb onto my tray.
Oh my god, that's such a great name.
What?
Someone said better to be a hyperskeleton than a diaper skeleton.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's hilarious. Oh, please don't make a mod about that.
We'll see. All right, so I think this script method actually does the rendering too. Does it? Or does this just initialize it? This might just initialize it. Okay, so that was that. Um,
Question. Are we able to implement a screensaver option?
Technically, yes.
I feel like that's more of a operating system thing than a individual software thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling too.
Hey Lloyd, welcome.
Up, Lloyd. Also, hey to everybody else. I don't think I said hello to everybody.
It's hard when there's lots of them, isn't it?
Yep.
It's like 3 or 4, yeah, I got this, but 20, 40, 60.
All right, so this here, this is the action menu.
It's actually kind of funny that screensavers got brought up today because just the other week, for the first time in a long time, I went in my settings and I was like, I'm realizing I haven't had a screensaver active in a long time. I want to go back to that. So I enabled one, and Windows 10 still has a couple from the old days, like the sort of you type in any text you want and it rolls around metallic and it's just a black screen and you're like, I wrote my
There we
name,
go.
drew a verse, and it just rolls around. So that's fun. We should make some Legend of Dragoon screensavers for at least Windows. I don't know how it works for Mac, if Mac even does that. I
They're
assume.
such a terrible waste of energy.
Does it use more energy than if you just had your screen on?
Well, it uses about the same amount of energy as just having your screen on, but
Okay.
we have the better option of blanking the screen entirely. Yeah, somebody I'm sure will make a mod to add additions to Miranda. I imagine probably uh, we'll have something for a first party mod.
Yeah, there's no way we won't have Archer editions of some kind. It's a matter of making sure we have someone in the community to help us create the animations and all that shit. But it will be possible.
Yeah. We could also do something kind of cool to start out with that doesn't even need animations or anything, just like timed button presses for shooting various arrows or whatever.
Even a basic charge up or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold
Um,
X to release or press X fast for a few seconds.
Take some inspiration from Paper Mario.
Actually, I'm not expecting you to make the support yourself, but if we can find someone who can make the support, newer controllers, I guess any trigger controller that doesn't just have a button for L2 and R2, but an actual trigger like Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, and now I think PS5 has the advanced controller where they were doing different things with the triggers. Like you would feel it in the controller if you were like pulling to draw an arrow or something. That was one of the examples they used.
All right. So we need to, when we start a battle here, we need to be able to say that the battle is being controlled by another game. That
A host.
is a very, very important part of this, obviously. So
So if that's the
to
host,
start out
can we
with,
internally call that the Moonchild since they're the host?
no.
Damn. I was hoping like the host would be Moonchild, and then everyone else connected would be labeled like Evangelist 1, Evangelist 2, Mazo. I'm a nerd.
Yep.
Could we use the animation from the archer guy in the arena? Yes, that's been discussed before. The problem is that those animations are bound to that model of what's his tush, Atlo. But it's possible we could use the same camera effects where it shows the targeting stuff, maybe.
Yeah, so animations cannot be shared between models, unfortunately. Um, just the way that they implemented them, they're tied exactly to the individual models and just either glitch out or crash on anything else. It would be great if we could do that. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, as it stands, not possible, unfortunately.
But does that include the part where Atlo's not animating?
What do you mean?
The first part is he's drawing an arrow and it says next or whatever. But the next part is just the targeting information showing on like Dart. It has those purple hexagons. There's no Atlo stuff going on there.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably use that. It would have to be modified to accept input from a player,
Yeah.
but that's probably possible.
There are so many cool ideas, even just with that. Like if you choose to target the if you can choose which part to target, hitting the leg could like reduce their speed by 20-30%, or hitting their arm could reduce their damage for one turn, something like that.
Yeah,
Hitting them
I
in the
mean,
head would be a one shot.
it would be interesting to use you know, the archers as sort of like support characters.
Yeah.
Because
Let them
there's not really a support role in Legend of Dragoon. You kind of have like healers, but also they're not really necessary at all.
yeah,
In
and the
in the
healing
base
isn't
game,
very
unless you're doing like a challenge run, there's really not much, nothing really tactical. If you're playing against Faust and you aren't really leveled up, then you might need to use a little bit of tactics to beat him. But overall, there's not really a whole lot of tactics to come into play. I think that's something that Dramod definitely improves with hard mode.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when they as advanced as the game was for its time, some things were just very rudimentary. Like only the Femmes had healing spells at all. Healing was not spread very evenly between the characters. So like
Yeah,
Shauna is like a mega healer. Maru is a AoE healer with cleanse, and then Rose is a very limited off healer.
yeah, definitely.
But there's so much potential. I mean, obviously, the devs were toying with the idea of doing more because one of the only Dragoon magics was Thunder Kid that can cause stun. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of modders checking out ways to like. Well, I guess Death Dimension also has fear, but outside of that, not much. some modders could explore other status ailments like Bewitchment, or being like an AoE speed up with a reduced effect perhaps, so it's not too broken.
Watch out, Zychronix is gonna make Vampire Kiwis cast Psych Bomb.
And since we have Rose Storm, like honestly, I would nerf Rose Storm. It's so OP, but there might as well be an offensive version of that for Dart, like Firestorm. I don't know. To expand on my answer to the KPA, with the inventory size adjustment, it can not only go up to at least 10,000, it can go down to as little as 1. So if you like pain and suffering and other such words, you can have as little as 1 item in your inventory at any given time. And you have to decide whether it's more important to have like a healing breeze or an angel's prayer or a charm potion. I mean, those are pretty important. I use them a lot.
I think you're the only one.
Well, especially now. I mean, and I'm retiring from it because Severed Chains has a no encounters option. So just the charm potion is literally only for, I don't know, if we have like, we were talking about doing like a boss rush game mode at some point, and if we expanded that to include minor mobs once in a while, like 4 minor mob waves and then a boss wave repeating, the minor mobs are really tough, then charm potion would be possibly useful as anti-taunt to protect one character for 3 turns.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will definitely come in handy more with the additions that we're going to be making to the game.
I wonder if we should let them be used in PvP. Because the way they function now in retail, at least usually, is if you charm potion your entire party, the enemy cannot act, which is kind of weird. So be a race to see who can fire off 3 charm potions in a row, and then that player wins automatically.
Yeah, I don't think charm potions in their current form would be very good for competitive play.
They're definitely the most overpowered item in the game, the charm potion. You're welcome.
All right, I'm just trying to decide how exactly we want to implement this.
Hey Vince, welcome back. Vince has
What's up,
been with
Vince?
us a long time.
Yeah, we got a few people who have been around since pretty much the start.
I kind of have tears in my head. The ultimate tier, I guess, would be people who have been around, at least were present, like right after the game's release online. So anyone who was with me on Game Winners Forum, and then tier 2 would be anyone who was around say 2007 when I was doing the first YouTube campaign for the game. And then tier 3 would be about 2015 or later. Something like that.
I haven't been around for that long. Are you saying
Nope.
that I'm not tier 3?
I'm saying you are young. It's not real, because, like, I mean, any one of us could have been around a long time ago. We just didn't meet each other yet. It doesn't actually revolve around me or any other events.
Oh.
We've been toying with the damage calculations. There's many main character animation attacks, enemy bosses with attack animations that don't hit very hard. So I don't think we've tried to futz with the main formula except for bug fixing, because at one point power up acted as a permanent power down, and that was very bad, and I had a whole experience with that on stream. But in terms of combat difficulty in general, Zycronix has created the hard mode and hell mode. Hell mode will come to SC later, and that includes some game mechanics changes, like burn stacks is a new thing for Dart. Players can also, if they want, copy paste one of the official presets. So you can take the North American difficulty, or the Japanese difficulty, or the JP demo difficulty, copy paste that spreadsheet, and then go in and make your own edits, at least to the raw stats. But that just affects their base power. I don't think we have an export yet for like the power, like the damage modifiers for enemy abilities. Because let's say an enemy does a basic attack, that could be 1x AT, their attack, or they could have a special ability that is 2x attack or 1.5x their magic attack. That's how the formula works for the enemy, because they don't have like addition percents to factor in or anything. It's just the base formula and some modifier of their AT to give relative power to the different abilities. Yeah, we don't have a dump of that yet. I don't think that's moddable. Something for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm still trying to figure out how to even look at the data Zamboni gave me, because I just, every time I look at it, I feel stupid, because I know algebra, I did a little geometry, I don't know advanced math, and it just gives my head a headache if it's more than I can handle, and just trying to figure out in the dark what all the different abilities are and what the chance of firing is at blue HP versus yellow HP is a lot. But eventually we're going to have a complete list of the full ability kits of every minor enemy and boss and the rares, and how often they fire each ability at the blue, yellow, and red HP thresholds. That is in progress. Could use more volunteers. So if anyone is enthusiastic about LOD to the point that they'd love to help with stuff, we have all different kinds of tasks and projects that you can help with. Some of them don't require any skill at all. So come find us in the Discord server if you would like to help us with things, because we have a lot of projects that could use some help. I will link the Discord right now. If Nightbot will actually work. It should work. I reinitialized it like a couple weeks ago. There it goes. That's our Discord server. That's where we chat about all the things, from separate chains to archivism to translation and general stuff.
Co-op going to be any different than me passing my controller to my friend's coach co-op style? It'll be pretty similar, except it'll be, a bit more on the rails. Each person will have their defined character, and when it gets to their turn, they will be the one that's able to take an action. Matthew, yeah. So we actually found when we started decompiling the scripts that enemies of the opposite element actually have a considerably higher chance to attack a character of the opposite element. So like if you have a like a earth enemy like Frugal's earth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if you have an earth enemy like Frugal, he will have a considerably higher chance to target Lavitz.
To add on to the answer for Jeffrey about co-op being different from, couch co-op with your friend, part of the big benefit of proper co-op support is that you'll be able to do it with people long distance. So if you have online friends or family that you cherish, or they're just away for a time and you still want to do something together, you'll be able to do that through separate chains if you both like LOD. So that way it's not limited to just people in your room. After all, I am in the United States and Corey is in Canada.
Yep.
So now I don't have to go all the way to Canada to play LOD with Corey.
Exactly.
It's just he's saving me so much money. Y'all have no idea.
Yep.
I've never even gone through like I've never crossed a country border. I've never left the United States. Hope to change that someday.
Been to the US a
We
couple of times for some shows.
we have another question. It might be a joking question. When will we finish the project? If you mean Severed Chains, it is an ongoing thing. It's not meant to have a specific end date. So it kind of is characterized as what you're looking for. Rec Build 3 will have the graphics overhaul. It'll start using your graphics card. It'll have widescreen, 4K, 60 FPS support. Missing only 60 FPS in combat for now. That'll come in Rec Build 5 later this year, probably. Extra modding support will be Rec Build 4, which is after Rec Build 3. So it just depends on like what you consider complete for you. Is it just the base game or certain features? Maybe you meant PvP and I totally missed that. I don't know. So tell us what you're hoping to do in the game, and we'll tell you a very loose timeline for finishing.
Yeah, like Drew said, it all really depends. We've got a lot of different things that we're gonna be doing.
And the order is mostly random.
Yeah, the order's whatever I feel like doing at the time. Oh, Drew, should we show that comment that we got earlier?
Oh yeah, we want to show people that some
Hold on,
players
chat.
who apparently like the game but don't either don't have, like, they're just happen to be ignorant or they're just very rude, one of the two. Had a very interesting comment to leave us the other day, and I left an initial answer, and then Corey left a more snarky and deserved answer.
Check this out, chat. Check this out. Don't be this person. If you are watching right now, enjoy being heckled.
Yeah. Why don't you read it out loud?
Stop losing time with this shit and focus on textures and FPS.
Testers. I assume that means features, but who cares? So I said
I figured textures, but
a lot of unpaid time goes into the main stuff as it is. The point of dev streams is to often explore something new and such. And then Corey left the more deserved answer of pay me and you'll get to decide what I do with my free time. Some people just don't understand the joys of Severed Chains.
yeah.
Woohoo, we're legends. Does that mean I get like a orange rarity glow around my face or something on a trading card?
Probably. I mean, you can put anything you want on your trading card if you make one.
I actually, the trading card game I used to work for about a year. That was my trial by fire as a community manager. But the card art was some of the best part of the game. It was animated, like short idle animation loops, kind of, but 2D. And I was so enraptured by all the art. Almost every artist, I was really excited to see any new cards they made. And so I did a mock-up. I printed out like 15 different cards, and I modified them a little bit in Photoshop first. I was just like screenshotting them in the game, and then I put them in Photoshop, and I put like the numbers 1 through 9 and like ace, king, queen, jack, or something like that, and Joker, because one of our cards looks like a mad Joker kind of a guy. So I had like playing cards of these custom creatures made for the game. It was pretty cool.
That sounds
I
cool.
just used I just used cardstock, and it didn't cost much ink.
Right, so basically what I'm doing right now is working on the code that will allow us to synchronize actions between the server into all of the clients that are connected.
Hello,
we've got
Brandon.
this
Welcome.
we've got this battle controller, and depending on what state your game is in, it's going to have a different battle controller. We'll have a server controller, a client controller, and a local controller, which would just be like, not just basically like no network play whatsoever.
And I will have an Xbox 360 controller. I'm so funny.
Definitely.
Being the comic relief is hard.
I can tell.
But yeah, I kind of assumed that for this round it would be more upfront stuff.
Yeah.
But I am standing by when you need me.
Okay. We need to bind a player to a socket. Cats are making some concerning noises.
Business as usual, I'd say.
It is.
I feel like my cat makes atypical noises for the most part. They're like, I know what a usual meow sounds like, and they're all a little different, to be fair, but my cat is just like a just chitters, lots of chittering, and instead of a regular meow, it's like a meh. I gotta do like a soundboard of my cat.
Yeah, Freya can't really meow. She just like she'll try and just kind of air comes out, which is pretty funny, to be honest with you.
Quick question: if no, this question won't work. Never mind. Not
Okay.
worth asking. I'm
Carry
gonna think of
on.
another question. Yep, carrying on. I'm trying to
Very,
think of
very, very
creative
good.
questions for the polls. Has anyone started translating the JP script to EN? Short answer, no. Long answer, 5% of the way there.
Long answer, no.
No. I'm gonna choke. So there's a story, an unfortunate story about this. It comes down to lack of volunteer power. Zamboni told us, the Flying Zamboni, who is one of the two creators of the upscaled graphics mod and the creator of LODS mods for emulator modding, helped us get the initial understanding of what needs to be done. And so they had already dumped the English script, is why. But for the Japanese script, we needed to map the characters, and I believe those characters were eventually mapped like a year later. Like this is over a long period of time, like 3 or 4 separate conversations and multiple times asking each other, wait, where do we leave off with that? Because there's so much going on. So I'm pretty sure the map was made by, it needed to be like set up by a person fluent in Japanese, and they did it on their end. And I feel like the next part is a part that Zamboni like technically could do, but really doesn't want to do, and rightly so. It is an annoying part of the process. So we probably just need to find someone else to do it, which is like finding all the pointers, if I'm not mistaken. It's a coding thing. Corey, how do we explain a pointer?
It's a thing that points to something.
Damn it. I could have said that.
You could have. You didn't?
I could have said. I thought there would be like a more contextual way to say that in layman's terms.
It's
It,
it's like if you it's kind of like a imagine if your phone could have multiple phone numbers, and each phone number pointed to your phone. That's kind of what a pointer is. It's a way to it's sort of like a variable that points to some data.
okay. So that's probably where we left off, and we still need help with that. So people who can code and are code wizards like Corey are probably the people we're looking for with that. Who someone who is up for doing a really boring and tedious part of the process. Once that happens, we can just dump it in native JP script, and translating will be a lot easier. Like we could translate it now. We have a few volunteers who would do it from time to time, but the problem is, there's a crap ton of text boxes that you would have to screenshot or write down, and then you'd have to like keep them contextualized and organized in some way so you remember where they go in the game. And then when translation modding comes up later on in Severed Chains' life cycle, you would have to then cut or copy paste all of your individual translations into boxes, and it's easier to wait until everything's ready to go. But in the realm of translation modding, it will be pretty awesome because I assume, this is correct, Corey, they'll be able to like just select their language or their script mod of choice from a dropdown.
Yeah, basically.
So as long as you have the translation mod file, which is like some kind of text-like file, paste it into Severed Chains' mod directory, I'm assuming, then it'll be detected and selectable.
Yeah, I mean this
And
this
it'll
is what the translation files are.
It'll also include the ability to have special characters, so it won't just be limited to English characters, of course. We'll have the ability to render Japanese scripts.
Right to left is going to be a thing. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
need to figure out how to handle that. But at least left to right languages to start with will be pretty trivial
But
once
do you
we get
think?
the framework set up.
Do you assume that it'll accept any remotely popular language, like script-wise, Arabic, Cyrillic, that kind of thing?
I think Arabic might also be right to left. I'm not 100%
Oh,
sure on that, but yeah, I mean anything that is written in the same form as like Latin-based languages, that'll be fine. We'll have to do some. We'll have to do something to get right to left languages and stuff working. Braille might be a little bit of an issue. We'll see what we can do.
how would we even do that?
Very carefully.
I genuinely don't know how that works on a computer because if they're on a computer, the computer has to render an output to maybe some kind of device where they can feel the little outdented dots, I guess.
Yeah, as far as I know, those do exist.
I never even thought of that before. Gosh. And I have thought of other things. Like I've actively sought out a couple games that were audio only for folks who are blind, so that they can play the game entirely just by hearing.
Yeah. There was actually a Halo 5 map made for blind people to play.
If we've played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth were there any programming features that we'd have liked to include in any of our mods? I have no idea. I have not played it myself.
I
Have you,
haven't
Corey?
even played Final Fantasy VII Birth.
Did you just say birth?
Yeah,
I don't think there was a birth.
I don't know what to call the original then.
Just FF7. You're very funny. I played FF7 when I was like coming out of high school, I want to say. It was around 07, 08. And I don't think I ever tried it since. But at the time, I was a little embarrassed because I remember going through some kind of like puzzle area, maybe some tunnel or maze to get to different rooms. And then I fought what I think is the first boss, some kind of machine. There's some kind of big machine. And it just wiped the floor with me. And I was like, am I supposed to grind 5 levels first? It just felt unwinnable. So I never went back to it, actually. The first boss was too much for me.
Well, there you go. I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. I think I got to the military parade or something like that. It's been in quite a while, so I don't really remember.
Is there any way to use the improved localizing from the script translation patch and severed chains? Yes, that would be the main point of it.
At the moment, no. We aren't able to support script patches yet, but that will be coming likely with RB4.
I meant that it's the same as what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Not that it's here now. It's actually supposed to be a high priority task. We just don't have the help because there are multiple people who are interested in a retranslation of Japanese to English, so that we have a better English script in the way of more context. We believe some context may have been lost in certain scenes that were perhaps translated too literally in some cases. And we already know the localization is kind of poor with the various spelling and grammar errors and things that just don't seem to make sense.
Hey, did you get the announcement for PC Gamer that they will be showing what you and Corey have done? Oh, they actually got that out really quickly.
It
What
was
was it? Only like
same
a,
day.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 3 hours. They DM'd me and I was like losing my mind internally. Externally, I was like, yes, hello, I'm Drew. And literally 3 hours later, the article was out. I assumed it would be like a week or two away, but it was just 3 hours. They just really shoved that out the door kind of quietly, but it still got a bunch of views. They gave like 0 advance notice.
It was fast. Oh, we need a packet to tell a client that it is their turn so that they can start taking an action. I guess start turn packet. I guess we don't really need to write any data for this one. Basically just a notification to say like, hey, you can take your turn now.
Time to issue in just a random poll. If modders created a racing minigame for Severed Chains, would you play it? Personally, my answer is hell yes, because I just want to do all the crazy things.
What kind of racing?
Well, it depends on the execution, right, and the design of it. But I don't know. You don't really have. I mean, you can of course go out of character of the game and put them in like go karts or something. But in character of the game's technology, it would. I really am interested in some kind of minecart experience because we have Dart rolling around and trying to Shirley to get the hidden numbers for the puzzle, and then he ends up just shunted into the water, and it's really funny.
Yeah,
But
I
having
guess.
actual like minecart tracks where you choose left or right, I think there's some interesting minecart mini games in what is it, Donkey Kong 64, and even older Donkey Kong games had minecart levels. I don't know. I just want to do some driving with Dart and company. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's pretty much always been minecart games.
How about we scratch the on the ground portion of it and just do flying with your dragon? I think we would all love to do that.
Flying your dragoon through rings and stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Diddy Kong
I
Racing,
mean,
but it's LOD. Oh my God, I played so much Diddy Kong Racing.
I am a huge Diddy Kong Racing fan. I played with Tip Top so many times. He was like the only character I used.
It's been a long time since I played that.
And I think like Whizpig was literally on the level at one point, and you had to dodge his giant feet. There was a secret frog you had to run over to get Drumstick or somebody, and just exploring the overworld to try and find like secret levels and crap. Also, TT's voice actor lives in my head permanently, and there's nothing I can do about it. Just I can hear the voice lines in my head. A flight racing game in Dragoon form. Yeah, I didn't even think about Dragoons. I was just thinking like ride your dragon, but flying as a Dragoon, now that'd be fun. And if I want to be lore accurate, it would have to be a combat flying game because technically you're not supposed to be in Dragoon form unless there's combat or conflict or an emergency. But
Who needs
it's
lore?
there's enough fans out there that want it that somebody, possibly including me, will be pushing for a vertical slice of the Dragon campaign, like a playable version of the Cadessa battle or something like that, where you can actually go up and like attack the Wingly cities, and you have to do enough damage with your dragon or whatever, or with Dragoon magic too. God, that would be so amazing.
That would be pretty cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And Dragon Flight has been done before, so it's not like it would be the most unprecedented thing ever. Panzer Dragoon Orta. I played that for many hours, and it actually would have levels where, for part of it, you would be like running on the ground with the dragon, but then they would switch to aerial. And they had to do a lot of fancy camera work to make that not look bad.
Hmm.
Like ground cameras are hard enough to me. I don't know camera stuff very well. I can't imagine doing aerial cameras. Crash Bash Legend of Dragoon when. So you say that, but I want to do something like that, like a Crash Bash slash Mario Party slash Fusion Frenzy, just where it's a whole host of mini games. We'll just have like an expanding list of mini games out of Lohan or wherever. And I want to just have all these different party games. I want to have like a 1v3 where one player is frugal and the other three players are just party members. And the one player, as frugal, has to chuck boulders at the other three before the timer runs out. So you'll just keep hearing "eat this, eat this, eat this" over and over and over again, and then occasionally you'll sick goofus on them. It'd be freaking hilarious. It'd be so much fun. I had so much fun in Mario Party as a kid. Don't y'all love chopping veggies on the ship? I do. I like that as well. I am currently the #1 advocate for Julian vegetable PvP, which should bring us to our. We can do another poll. Seems like over 3/4 of you would play a racing game, so yay for that. We'll just go straight into another poll, which is who would you rather play against in the mini game? And the answers will be a human opponent or okay. New poll. I'm in a mood. Who would you rather play against in the vegetable mini game? If we bring a PvP to it eventually, would you rather fight a human opponent or the sailor who cheats?
I think that it's just a skill issue, Drew.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah.
I want to see your win rate. Show me your fucking win rate right now.
Check the leaderboards.
For those who don't know, Corey has been gracious enough to assure me that at some point we will have some kind of leaderboards on our web server where LOD.org resides for leaderboards for stuff for multiplayer, whether it's some kind of PvP rankings or minigame leaderboards, like rankings for how many dodgeball points you got in the dodgeball game, stuff like that, how many vegetables you chopped in the vegetable minigame. And it'll be the world official leaderboard. Can you believe it?
Amazing.
It's going to be the place to be. We're going to open a cafe. We're going to have everything. But I still got to get that museum. Need more funding. Drakengard did some neat stuff with dragon riding. That sounds cool. Wingly hoverbot rides. We could do something with those floating brown platforms in Xenobados.
Good.
We could do like this would probably be annoying, but we could do like a teleportation puzzle, similar to the layout of Aglis or Flanville Tower. And
My least favorite type of puzzle.
And 4 players have to figure out the way to the end first. But if you do, you get 10 gold. And that's generous because 10 gold is 10 times as much gold as you're given when you win the vegetable minigame. That's such a bad reward. Oh my god. Bad reward system. There's this person, this content creator who was posting a video clip on YouTube of, I think it was their Twitch stream, doing the vegetable minigame and how hard it was to beat the sailor. And they were just kind of stunned looking when they read the reward of 1G. Cool.
I mean, it's fair.
That is like the lowest payout for work ever. Chocolate says, if I win Mega Millions, I will fund museum. That would be great. I will work there full time if I have to. I will. I need a job. I need a job.
You wouldn't want to?
I mean, okay, well, I worded it wrong. I would love to do it. Like, I can be like a librarian, but in a museum. Like, it would be multifaceted like that. Like, info portal, kiosk, museum, archival, multiplayer game center, snacks and plushies and everything all in one place.
Oh.
We also still need to do the convention. I've had to push it back for years now because lack of money. But hopefully, as we get more and more subscribers on YouTube and we just get more like momentum, critical mass of views and just attention our way, I can fundraise more money to do those things.
Yeah, exactly.
because we need a freaking LOD convention, and I will be sad if we don't at least get the planning set in motion before the 25th anniversary, which is later this year. I initially wanted it done by the 25th anniversary.
That's quite
But
the timeline.
yeah. I mean, if a bunch of money drops into my hands right now, I will definitely be able to plan it in time. I don't know everything about conventions, but I did run some booths, and I have looked at some numbers. Garrett wants more mini games, and for the reward to be Stardust. Stardust rewards.
That would gate Faust behind completing the mini games, which I think some people would like, but other people definitely wouldn't.
Well, what if we just saw it as like an optional thing? So it would help you not need all the base 50. Like they're extras.
Yeah, but then it also kind of sucks to be able to gather up extras and not be able to do anything with them. Cue
That's what mods are
Zychronics
for.
adding Super Faust.
That's what modding is for. Just do your weekly Stardust grind in a mini game, and then your weekly Faust battle.
Yeah. Gotta log in and perform your weekly second job duties.
Complete with a 2% drop rate for sachet. Brought to you by Piggies.
And you can only be competitive in PvP if you do it every week.
To get the PvP legendary gear.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first played World of Warcraft, there was these like PvP battlegrounds, and it was like, I guess, Horde versus Alliance simply, and it was a really big map. And if you did well enough, you could like earn some kind of tokens, and the tokens got you exclusive gear of some kind. And that was a long time ago.
Or you could
Oh,
just do the
summons
Destiny
Damia.
2, the Destiny 2 thing where everything you do just gives you casino tokens that you can turn in for loot.
Oh, that doesn't sound exploitative at all.
That's basically what it boiled
Casino.
down
What's
to, and it
that?
was terrible.
Alright, well, in the poll... Oh, we're getting more votes. Never mind. I'll let it go for a few more minutes. So far, most people, almost 2/3 of you, would rather fight the NPC than a human opponent. I find that kind of interesting. So either I really do suck against the sailor, or you're all lying to me.
I mean, you
One of
just
the
need
two.
to memorize the number of times that you need to chop for each vegetable. Okay, how do we handle this? That is the question.
With our seatbelts fastened.
So we need a way to advance the date of the game without the game actually doing anything. Okay, so I think we want to send over which character you are when you start the battle. I think that makes sense.
Hey, J-Man. Welcome back.
What's up, J-Man?
Okay, I'll end the poll now. So, for would you rather play against a dirty cheating sailor NPC or human opponent in the Julian Vegetable minigame? About 60% of you said the NPC, and 40% said a human opponent. I'd say that's a believable outcome. And there's Deningrad. All the
Oh,
names I
Leningrad.
recognize.
How are you two doing tonight? The start turn packet changed my mind. It does need a slot.
Chocolate, I agree with you. Corey,
Yes.
we have for the dev streams, you got it so that mid-roll ads are enabled, right?
I believe so, yes.
So we'll probably want to use the dashboard button for delay ads when we do the actual testing on the in the game.
Probably. You want Aurelia. We need the battle entity state, so I'm going to change the interface here. Oh.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
got face
decided to
cam now,
change it up.
Zamboni.
Decided to change it up.
I got Corey to debut this feature in the new Discoveries stream, which was it last week Friday?
Yeah, I think so.
It was some number of days ago. I don't remember anymore.
I had been
Yeah, we
meaning
were
to set it up for like months and just never got around to it.
and lucked out because it looks really good despite being super old.
Yep. Are you talking about me or the camera?
The camera. I already said you were young. I said you were young earlier, so that's already pre-validated and pre-confirmed statement from yours truly. I insulated myself from that bear trap. Chocolate, come on. Let's not gate all the people who don't use a cam on stream. Come on. Ouch.
No, officially a streamer now.
Corey was official the first day he streamed. Period.
Never thought that I would be a YouTuber slash streamer.
Well, the unexpected perks of Legend of Dragoon.
I guess so.
It gives us the gift of streaming. Without Legend of Dragoon, there would be no stream.
I mean, it's true.
How does one beard as hard as Corey?
Yeah, actually, I never had a beard up until, I don't know, probably around 8 or 9 months ago. I was just like,
What?
yeah, no, never. I was just kind of
Man, this
like,
is
yeah, I'll give it a try.
okay. I have to tell a story. I'm cursed. I'm officially cursed because I have this running issue with, and it's not serious, but I have this running issue with actors I end up liking to some degree, or at least I like their performances, uh, who start out with no beard and then they go like beard, and I don't like it because I, as a person, happen to not prefer beards on people. I guess if I like them like personally, you know. So it started with Riker, William Riker on Star Trek: The Next Generation, first season, no beard. A lot of people seem to think he looks weird without a beard, and I can, I guess, kind of agree with that. But then he got the beard, and I felt like I liked the character less. And then Carl Urban. For me, this was more about real life, but Carl Urban. I learned about Carl Urban through Almost Human, the TV series, and I really loved him in Almost Human, and I just got so attached to that. And his chemistry with Michael Ealy as the android, it was so amazing. And now, like, he's doing the beard thing, or at least he was for a long time, and I just got sad. Now, Corey does not play in any TV shows or movies, so I do not judge the same way. Corey is allowed to have a beard because I only know him as a real person.
But am I real?
I hope there will still be some people on the planet who don't have beards, so I feel less alone. I don't have a beard. Well,
Everyone has to grow a beard now.
my face wants me to have a beard really badly. I have like really fast facial hair growth. I don't like it. I wish I could tell my genes to like redirect that energy into my scalp hair so I can have long hair faster, you know. But I am not so lucky as to toggle those settings. So Zamboni, the issue is not with the lack of cats in frame. The issue is with you being late because we talked about cats right at the very beginning of the stream, and multiple cats were on cam for the point that it delayed us for like 8 minutes while we were talking about cats and things.
I was trying to
So
wrangle Strider.
the issue is that you were tardy, not the lack of cats on cam now.
Let's see if we can get Strider on stream now. I don't know where he is though. Strider! All right, they're all coming. Strider!
Why don't we make this like super special? Instead of you and me doing co-op, the first living beings to do co-op will be two cats across countries. What do you say?
Fair enough.
Well, we'll just use their paws to press the space bar or something, and we'll make it work.
Here you go. Here's Strider. He likes being held like a baby. Sometimes. There. Oh, who's a big baby? I don't think he's feeling it this time.
That's okay.
Oh god, Aurelia just jumped up on my lap too.
So you're gonna set up like a cat tower just behind you there?
Actually there is one just out of frame to my right. This is Strider. He is a very, very large baby. Also Aurelia, who normally does not jump up on my lap. I don't know what she's doing. Look at this guy.
Yep.
I don't know what he is. He was found in a quarry, almost dead when he was a kitten. and the adoption place told me that it was very unlikely that he would ever get used to people. Um, that's not how things turned out. He sits at my feet and whines at me all day long until I let him sit on my lap, and then he will just stay there the whole day. When I first got him, I should say, when I first got him, um, it took almost 3 weeks for him to come out from underneath my couch. He basically just lived under there, and I had to give him his food and water under there, and he just didn't come out at all. Um, then one night, while he thought I was sleeping, he came into my bedroom, stood on my chest, and just kind of stared into my face until he realized that I was awake, and then he was gone again. He did that for a few nights, and then yeah, after that, he is just like the most affectionate cat to a fault.
Clearly, there was some ritual that was supposed to happen while you were asleep, and he had to abort every time you were awake. And it's like, shit, you need to be asleep for me to do this ritual.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh god. Whenever Purdy looks for me and I'm not available because I'm on the computer or something, she'll she'll wait a little bit, but eventually she will just show up under the desk, and I have a cat bed under here where my feet are, and she'll just lay in the bed on top of my feet.
Nice. Okay. I think I'm starting to make some progress here. Wife and I
Yeah, it's
adopted a
only
stray and was told that he would hate people. We went through the same hide from humans. 2 months later, he lives in my wife's jumper. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's pretty amazing how much of a change that he made, and it was really fast too. Like he just in the span of a couple of days, it was just like a switch flipped. He's still pretty skittish. He has pretty bad anxiety, and he doesn't always like other people coming over. But anybody that he knows, he's super affectionate with. And he also drools like a frigging faucet when he purrs. Like the second he starts to purr, it's just like dripping out of his mouth.
I like how you said starting to make progress, and we're at like almost an hour and a half into the stream.
Yeah, it takes some time.
When is the full finished game going to be released?
So we have
We
a
get
full
that.
release out now. Recommended build 2.1 is available, has been since last July. There are some minor graphical and audio issues with it. Nothing that really affects gameplay. We are in the process of working on a major update, recommended build 3 right now. We are probably a month or two away. TFC and I have both been very busy for the past little while, so progress has been pretty slow. But we are getting pretty close to the testing phase. We're mostly just doing bug fixes now. We have most of the features implemented. It has high definition graphics, widescreen where possible, 60 frames per second everywhere except for in battle. It'll have a brand new audio and music engine that is much better than retail. So very good. Lots of other random new features too, like you can toggle on health bars for enemies. You can change your additions in battle if you want to. We got quit to main menu, borderless full screen, just yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Finished as in Kongle dating sim done, of course. That'll be a little while, but if demand increases, I mean, you never know. Could move that up the pipeline.
Welcome back, Pony Bro.
Nothing like your internet dying out to remind you that you get hungry.
I mean,
It's
it's
like,
true.
oh man, I can't doom scroll anymore. Oh, I can't watch streaming. Oh wait, my stomach is making some sounds. Oh, I'm hungry.
I mean,
Not to
I've got ADHD, and the hyperfixation definitely happens. And if I don't have an external, uh, like some sort of external reminder that I need to actually eat, then I will go very long time without like getting up and doing anything.
finish as in everyone has the dating sim. Oh, the scope creep is out of control here. Does that include NPCs? I mean, does that include minor enemies? I mean, I would go on a date with Zackwell. Hell, Zackwell should date me. I'm not
I
that
think you may
self.
be a little too obsessed with Zackwell, Drew.
I'm not like actually self-absorbed or anything, but I feel like I have done enough for this community that I deserve Zackwell at this point.
All right, fair enough.
One creates undead portals that summon giant pink skeletons that can spew a pink cloud of mist to deal damage, and it's acrobatic, and it's only the top half though, and that's actually on purpose because then it's lighter weight and it moves faster through dimensions, and there's a whole lore to this. You got to understand. Also, the ability to summon undead lavits at will would be great. Just infest every character I like with a parasite, so we're gonna have an undead version of my favorite characters. Like who else? Who else? Undead Frugal. That'd be pretty fun. You just take the existing voice lines and like slur the speech a little bit in Audacity. Read this. You know, that'd be great. Got Undead Frugal, Undead Gooftus. That would be great. We would love this. All of us would love like we're gonna do a zombie mod. Just zombify everybody. Zombie boss rush mode. I don't have a problem.
Little one.
Yeah, I've got a few types. I mean, I'm not as into zombies as I am into like sci-fi, but zombies is a pretty good time for me. I watched The Walking Dead for a long time before it finally made me stop watching it. But eventually I was like, I can't do it anymore. Zackwell would use me and lose me. I mean, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all.
I'm not sure that applies here. What's up, Nom Nom Brains? Speaking of zombies, we have Nom Nom Brains here.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, hi. What a time to show up. That was like a minute ago.
Yeah.
That's funny. Thank you for being here. Hi.
LRC, we've been going for about an hour and a half. I think we are just about to do some testing here.
Zamboni, that is so meta. You've got a point, though. I concede to that. It's...
All right. I have, Drew, do you want to pull main.net? I have probably missed some stuff here because I've been talking and looking at chat and stuff a lot, so we'll see if this actually works.
Human being instead of a freaking robot. 13 files, 1 commit. Okay. Standing by.
We get the server hosted.
Does it actually use our web server at all yet?
No.
Okay. I look forward to that time.
Server is hosted.
Alright, I'm going to start the game. I need to remember how to do that. I think I have your contact info in chat.
Yep. Meatballs is the Black Castle garbage room. Because it's full of meatballs.
I don't know what words we typed when you sent it to me, and it's not pinned, so I have to either scroll or you retype it to me.
Probably IP. Search for IP and see if that brings anything up.
Last January 13th, so no. Server? Nope.
Freya is currently chasing her tail. Unfortunately, she is on the other side of the camera. 1 second, chat. I gotta get through my IP.
We'll pin it this time so I can't lose it. Alright, and pinned. Thank you.
Thanks, Ontario. I do really wish that I could show you Freya chasing her tail right now.
I'm typing client, right? I mean, I'm clicking client.
Yep.
And it was 8080 for the port.
Yep.
Connect. I am connected.
All right, so let's see what happens here. So you got a battle started right now. Should be Plague Rat in the beta map hoax.
No, I have a crash.
You have a crash.
I have a crash.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, I'm a very rude person.
I've noticed. Jeez.
It's apparently possible as part of being an Aquarius. I like to think I'm generally not rude unless I just miss the mark with suspected autism or whatever else. Anyway, I'm going to send you the crash log. I think that posted. Did a bunch of allocations and then
see this crash.
The first error was script
crash.
6.
I think I know what the issue is here.
Even though that was on my end, I'll summon Nightbot for that. Oh, I forgot to reset it. Oh well, doesn't matter. I think there's like a program called Who Crashed that was made a long time ago. Kind of helps you identify what happens when things go wrong in your computer.
Drew, can you open up Client Battle Controller?
Sure. Yeah, I see it.
Do you see this line right here and can take action?
I And take action. Yep, yep.
Yep, okay, so add this null check that I have highlighted here. This dot current bent unequal to null and
Let me full screen that. Hold on. Um, HD. Okay. So this dot.
just the part that I have highlighted there is what you need to add.
Turn this dot current bent. I'm unsure how to add this. I'm sorry.
Type it. Just add the
That's on
part that
my.
I have selected.
But I have some of that all. Wait, is the selected blue or yellow? I can't tell.
Blue.
Blue. All right. Yeah, I've got return this current bent.
Yeah, just
But
add what I have highlighted.
Oh, I'm separating the other purple part. Okay, that's where I got confused.
All you have to do is just type exactly what I have highlighted there.
Exclamation equals null and space.
All good?
My thing still looks different than yours.
What does it look like?
I only have one current bent instead of two current bents.
Did you type a second one?
Oh, I need to. Oh, okay. Okay, so I need a second this current bent.
You need to type exactly what I have highlighted.
Right. Return this current bent. And this current bent inner struct. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Rerun it.
Yeah, I have to restart. Pardon my momentary dumbness for that. Unless it's wiki code, I'm going to struggle. Identifier expected?
It sounds like you didn't type exactly what was there.
I have
Oh,
an extra period, maybe? Yeah, I had an extra period. My bad.
Okay.
Now it's going. Remember, y'all, one single period or a slash can screw up the entire thing. Okay.
Okay, I've got the server hosted.
Try this again.
Hey, Zion Watcher, what's up?
Back to the server thingy.
Did I already say hey?
Client thingy.
I honestly can't remember. I was going to.
Don't feel bad about that. At a new job I had the other year, I inadvertently introduced myself to someone. I introduced myself to one of the employees 3 times before I remembered who they were. I was just saying hi, I'm Drew to everybody, and this one person was like, "You've already done this twice with me," and I felt so embarrassed. Like, a second time is one thing, but a third time is bad.
I can't. I am physically incapable of remembering people's faces.
Do you remember what I look like?
Oh, vaguely.
Long hair, don't care. That's all you need to remember. I am connected.
All right, so we're gonna try starting the battle again.
I see a berserk mouse.
Okay.
And I crashed.
All right, what was your crash this time?
Script 6 crashed. I will send you the log.
Interesting that we aren't. Oh, no, that's not it. It should be in where server battle controller. Okay. be fine. Let's see what the crash is this time. Interesting. I wonder if that is because of this.
I feel like I got
Yeah,
a
that
little
should
farther this
be.
time.
Yeah, you did. That should be pause and rewind. Can you open battle and go to line 3265?
Just battle.
Yep.
Battle. There's a lot of results. Legend game combat.
Flip to the classes tab,
Okay.
like in the double shift. You can
So
press
that's
tab again
still.
to, and it's
Oh,
just battle.
the second part is just like the breadcrumb, I guess. All right, I'm in battle.
And 3265, you can press Control G and then type in the line number.
3265. Return flow control.
Yep, so it should be flow control dot pause and rewind. Just highlight the continue and then type capital P. Should autocomplete.
Done.
Okay, you got pause and rewind now. And let's try this again.
Now when I hit run, it is actually taking those edits without me doing anything else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, standing by.
The server is hosted.
Copy that number. I'm in.
Okay, I see you there. Battle should be starting.
Hey, I see a battle UI.
Okay, so is your UI
Wow.
disabled right now?
Well, yes and no. I see the battle bar, but I don't have commands.
Right, so that's what it should be. Okay, so I'm going to guard now. Did it just activate?
I don't
Oh,
think so.
no, I didn't define a serializer for the start turn packet. All right, give me one.
Sure.
Close your game. So that was pretty good though, chat. So what just happened there was I started the battle. It told Drew whose turn it was. It was not Drew's turn. So the battle bar where you could select actions was not visible. That is exactly what should have happened. It is very cool, Dan Dan. Tony Bro says that I should make you join me on the Kraken fight.
I don't know if I'm up for that. It's like on the one hand, trauma. On the other hand, replace bad memory with new memory. So I guess I could be worked up to that. Did I see Shauna's guard animation? No, I did not. Because
So
there's
we
no.
aren't actually syncing the actions yet, but we should be syncing the turn.
Getting there.
All right, so reboot your game, Drew.
No changes for me.
Nope, just on my end.
Okay.
Okay, server is hosted. By the way, if anyone likes what we're doing here, and you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to us, drop a like on the video. It helps us out a lot, and you'll be able to get to see all of the very, very cool things that we're doing. If you would like to contribute directly to me or my projects, there is a donation link on your screen right now, bottom left corner. Every little bit helps out a lot, means that I can spend more time working on these projects.
You said the server's hosted?
Yep.
All right. I'm in.
All right, starting the battle.
Also, y'all tell your friends or other LOD fans you might know in a non-spammy way. Be like, hey, do you know about server chains yet? And I mean, as time goes on, the odds are going to increase. The odds are increasingly be yes, they already do know about it, but word of
Hopefully.
mouth is one of the most powerful methods we have so far until news outlets pick us up on a regular basis. So don't underestimate the power of sharing the news with each other, sharing our news articles that we share on ld.org for you, the videos we post, just share them kindly with each other so that you all can be empowered with knowledge of all the cool things we're doing.
All
Back
right,
to
you
you.
ready, Drew?
Yep.
Okay, so it is my turn right now. I'm going to guard, and did you get your UI activated?
I have no change.
Okay, take a look at your console.
Yep.
Do you see what's the last stuff that you see in the console there?
Action running behind. Starting turn, character ID 3, bent +7.
Okay, so you did get the packet. I think that's here.
For that, it was received 4.
So that is right. Did you run with the play button or the debug button?
I always use the play button.
Okay. So
I
let's
guess it's.
let's restart this and run in debug mode. That'll let you trigger a breakpoint.
Do you want me to use the drop down for that or the green debug button?
Just click the bug right beside the play button.
Okay. Oh, I have to enable network access. Okay. We're just going to jump right back in.
I am hosting it now. Hosted.
F12. Client 8080. I'm in.
All right, so I am guarding. So now it is waiting for you. So open up Client Battle Controller,
Okay. I still have that tab up.
and on line 32 in Can Take Action, click in the gutter just to the right of the line number to trigger a breakpoint.
Uh, say that again. Sorry.
Click in the gutter just to the right of the line number to toggle a breakpoint,
What is a gutter?
where the line numbers are.
For 32?
Yep.
Okay.
Did it break?
Um, it gave me a little pop-up saying extract sound.
I have no idea what that means. Do you want to do a screen
Oh,
share with me real quick?
now it did something.
So
Yeah, sure.
is execution paused now?
It's pausing and unpausing constantly.
What do you mean?
I hear the sound. Oh wait, no, the game crashed. I think. Yeah,
Shouldn't have
the
crashed.
game super crash.
What do you mean?
I lost the client, but not IntelliJ. That was weird.
What do you mean you lost the client?
It froze and the music started and stopped constantly.
Oh yeah, because it's paused.
You're saying it wasn't broken?
No.
Okay, because like I had the loading icon and everything, so I was like, okay, it died.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's paused.
I'm sorry.
Oh, did you shut it down?
Yes, I'm a bad helper. I
Give
will
me a
try
second,
again.
then I'll rehost the server.
All right, debug.
Server is hosted.
Okay. Sorry, chat. I made a boo boo. I'm in.
All right, so turn the breakpoint off for now.
I guess it. So when the breakpoint is enabled, should there be a red dot?
Yeah.
Okay, because okay, I've got it off now. All right.
Okay, so I'm starting the battle. I don't want you to turn the breakpoint back on until it is at your turn.
Okay.
Okay, I'm guarding now, and you should have received the packet you see in the
Yep.
log.
Receive 4 starting turn care ID 3 Ben plus 7. So I can turn it on now,
Yep, and it should break immediately.
and I get like 4 lines of text.
What do you mean 4 lines of text?
Evaluate expression something something.
You should see the debugger.
Yeah.
And you should also be able to see the value of variables if you mouse over them. So can you mouse over the this dot character slot at the end of the line?
Yeah. It says equals 2 without me mousing over.
Okay, and what about character slot 276 on the inner struct?
1.
Okay, so we have a discrepancy on this. Oh, I think I know why. Um, start, yeah, start battle packet. Yeah, okay, that's why. Okay, shut it down, turn off the breakpoint, start it.
Are we still starting in debug?
You should just always start in debug in case you need the debugger. No reason not
Oh,
to. What's up,
I
Sind? What's up, Ninchi?
I feel like in a long time ago, uh, either you or someone else said not to run in debug because it would massively slow down performance or something.
No, it doesn't really affect anything.
Okay, I'm imagining that. I must have just had a very, very, very real dream.
I mean, in very, very early versions of Severed Chains, before it was even playable, back when we were still emulating interrupts and stuff like that, using the debugger would often lead
Okay,
to deadlocks, but that was like years ago. And before I had ever even, before we even had it on the org or anything like that, like back when it
okay.
was just a personal repository. So,
Now I know. I am ready.
thank you, Ninshi. You were the third person to say that, and it makes me feel good about myself.
Welcome, Ninchi. Good to see you.
It is posted whenever you are ready, Drew.
I'm ready. Here we go. I'm in. My
All
cat is
right.
chirping at me, so it must be the time for it to work.
Good.
Pretty. Are you gonna jump up here? It's too bad I'm not on camera right now. I got a cat for y'all.
uh,
Corey is denying you all the cat.
yeah, my bad. Oh God, I know, right, TFC? It's hard to believe we've been working on this for over 3 years. I mean,
Yep.
simultaneously it feels like not that long, but also like way longer.
Yeah, it's one of
Like,
those both extremes things.
yeah, kind of just like you know, it feels like forever at this point. All right, Drew, I am going to guard, and it should switch to your turn and activate your controls.
I have controls.
All right. Now, you doing stuff is not going to affect my end, but that's good.
Aw. You hear that, Chad? Corey is unaffected by any actions I take. Sad. I mean, I guess it's fair. You're already partnered. I understand. If only
There
you
we
were
go.
Polly. So I'm gonna hit guard anyway, just to make myself feel better.
Fair enough. All right, so
Oh,
that
I
that's
got two
that's
turns
that's
in a
really
row.
big. That's really big. So what just happened there is that so I started a battle on my end with Drew connected. It synced my game state over to Drew, so Drew had my exact characters, levels, items, everything. And then it also told the client what encounter it is, what battle stage we should be in, and it started the fight. So Drew is now in the same battle as me with the same characters against the same enemy in the same place. Uh, it was my turn, so I had controls, but Drew did not. I guarded, which finished my turn. Then it ended up on Rose's turn, which is the character that Drew is controlling right now. And once it became Rose's turn, Drew's controls were re-enabled. And now, as you can see, my controls are not enabled because Drew is controlling this character. LRC, yes. One of my cats is named Freya. She is the oldest. Then there's Strider, who's a year younger than her. And then Aurelia, who I think is 4.5 or so. Oh, Freya heard me say her name and now she's walking over.
Should I drop out of the battle?
Yeah, we can shut it down now. That's as much as is implemented now.
Great.
So Ninchi, right now there's no overworld at all. Basically I click the button and it just starts a battle. That's the only synchronization there is.
Yeah, getting it to run through an actual campaign will be a lot more.
Yeah. That'll come eventually. Right now this is all just like debugger stuff. You host the server in the debugger and the client connects in the debugger as well. And that's where we're gonna start. I think for the very first we will probably just do like you know, menu fights rather than actual like in-game connections.
Question: how do you get the battle to feedback to each other?
So basically just more of what I'm doing now. So I've written a little network protocol here, which sends back and forth something called packets. So a packet is basically just like a container for data. For example, we have the game state packet. This is what carries over all of the information of my game state. This sends Drew my characters, my items, my equipment, everything. Then it sends the start battle packet, which tells it the encounter ID, the battle stage, and which character they are controlling. Then each time my game, as the host, each time my game starts a new turn, it sends that information over to Drew as the client, and then Drew's game handles that. Yes, we are definitely making the Legend of Dragoon QWOP mod. Who remembers QWOP? Drew, do you remember
I'll
QWOP?
be No, I'll be right back.
All right. Yep, QWOP. Is anybody familiar with the game Getting Over It? Um, it was super, super popular, like a few years ago during quarantine and stuff. Apparently, that was made by the same person who made QWOP. You got over it, Deningrad? Amazing. I've never actually played Getting Over It, but I've seen other people play it, and it's pretty great. QWOP was also pretty great. I love a good bad game, like a game that is intentionally like obtuse to play just for the sake of it. Yeah, yeah, same person. Showed your kids QWOP. Good. Nope, I'm not familiar with Pop Tropica. I've never played Getting Over It, but I did at one point get unfortunately good at QWOP. Don't know what that says about me as a person. Yeah, Getting Over It has spawned like an entire genre of games for better or for worse. I don't know if anybody else watches Grand Pooh Bear on Twitch, but he plays a fair bit of games like that, and it's weirdly interesting to watch. All right, so what comes next? I guess we need to handle the actual game input and send that back and forth. Yeah, I'm familiar with Small Ant, but I don't know if I've ever actually watched anything. I watch a fair bit of Mario Maker and Super Mario World hacks. Just kind of background noise at this point. There's a bunch of people working on finishing every single level in Mario Maker 1 before the server shut down. And they are down to the very last level at this point. Like they're trying to uh, clear every single level. There is a site dedicated to it, and yeah, they've got just under 15 days left, and there is one level left, and it is up, yeah, over 200,000 attempts on it now, and that's just like actual attempts, not like attempts in the editor, which is just insanity at this point. Actually, it's been saying that for like the last day, so I think that's like a day old, and so it's probably more like 250,000 or something at this point. It doesn't look like much, like this is the whole level, but it is just insanely difficult. I've been watching people attempt it, and like most people can't even get past like the first little part here. Yeah, it's
Hello.
pretty insane. They are very organized in what they're doing. And at points they were clearing like thousands of levels per day. We are
What the hell am I
talking
looking
about
at?
we're talking about the people trying to clear all of the uncleared Mario Maker levels before the server shut down in 19 days.
That's ridiculous. And I support it.
I can send a link. Yeah, so they've been on this very last level for the past several days now.
There's only one left?
Yeah, and it's so very difficult that well, I
Oh.
mean, just look at it. These are the numbers from like a day ago, 212,000 attempts. And that's just the attempts, like actual attempts and
Is
not attempts in the editor.
is it proven to be beatable?
Yeah, you have to beat it in order to actually upload the level.
Oh, that's a good check. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're
Can
probably
I
sitting at around like 250,000 attempts now.
That's ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah.
Now that is a community right there.
Yeah, it's pretty great. There were a lot of people working on getting this done, and the progress has been like way faster than anybody expected.
So we're doing the start of the dinner cooking now that I warned you about before.
Yeah,
Um, once the we're doing ranch chicken, so once that goes in the oven, um, shortly after that, I will be starting the potatoes. But those are a pretty short ordeal. It's just boil some liquid and then throw some potato flakes in there because we're not doing real potatoes here.
potato flakes.
Yep, just a box mix. I mean, it's good enough if you're poor.
I'm planning on growing way more potatoes this year because I definitely didn't grow enough last year. They only lasted
We
for a
need
few months.
we need a Legend of Dragoon garden. What do you say?
LOD community garden, yeah,
And then we need like a mascot dressed up as Nello. How about it?
works for me.
We're gonna green the planet. God damn it! I love how he got success by the end of the game.
Yeah,
There should have, I wish the devs had more time because then they could have had like an alternate sub map set for the Barrens. Like if you go there on disc 4, you start seeing little plants sprouting up and stuff. That'd be so awesome.
yeah, that would be the best mod to make.
Mappy comes out of his hidey hole after being defeated twice, is moping about in the Barrens, and suddenly a little flower, and he decides he likes the shape of that flower, and
Oh
then
no.
Mappy becomes good,
Oh,
but keeps his Wolverine claws, of course.
so wholesome.
Who would like to do additions with Mappy's Wolverine claws?
I mean, Hashel could use something like that.
I feel
I mean, that's
any
probably like he's got Beast Fang, right?
well,
That's
he's
probably.
literally he got Diamond Claw, so
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
He's probably got the same thing.
I well, technically we have illustrations of all those weapons actually, and none of them are like Mappy's.
Yeah, could just be artistic choice though. I mean, some of the weapon designs are pretty out there in that
They
in the
yeah,
guidebook.
they're almost like they're from a different game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
Ninchi,
even
I think we know a little bit about something a little bit about the power of a committed community.
yeah, we're doing it. We're living it. I lit the fuse and now all the explosions are going to be going off over and over again.
I'm getting sleepy.
Let's plant some plants. Yes, exactly. Additions with duels twin swords. Yep. Yep, I've been talking about that for a while. That would be great.
Yeah, that would
Um
be pretty cool.
thunder swords. Can you imagine having to create and code additions for Linus? I cannot. I have not done this.
All right, I put that in the wrong spot. It's been a very crazy journey so far. Absolutely. I want to do something here. We need to be able to see what action a player is taking, and I have a feeling that selected action may be what we need to look at.
Ninchi, it mostly depends on um your time available.
It's
Part of it's going to be,
entirely it's entirely dependent on
go
what you
ahead.
want to do. The modding API is intended to be as easy to use as possible. Now, of course, you will need to know how to program in Java. You'll need to know at least the basics. But that being said, uh, we've set it up in a way that's completely event driven. So basically, you just sort of say like what sort of event you want to listen for, and then you do something with that. Um, so like for example, there is well, let's take a look at the events.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Zombie Lavitz editions. Some of the animations are already in the game because he can do at least two of them, Rod Typhoon and Firestorm, possibly another one. And yeah, I'll just put some inputs on that and call it done.
Yeah, so for example, like you could say, I want to listen for the enemy rewards event. Um, and then well, I can show you a real example. So if I wanted to make it so that enemy drops a different item, I could say in my handler here, public void, we'll just call it adjust drops, the name doesn't matter. It needs to have the event listener annotation. Then you just put the event you want to listen for uh, as a parameter. Let's say if event dot enemy ID equals 10. I don't know what enemy 10 is, but we'll just go with it. Then we will clear the drops and we'll add a new item drop with a chance of 10. I think that's 10%. And then what do we have? Right, so then we just pass the see here. We can just get something from the item registry. Registries.items.get entry LOD healing potion. And now that will make enemy 10 have a 10% chance of dropping a healing potion. So, you need to know the basics of Java. You need to know the basics of the modding API, which we don't have documentation for yet, but we will. And with that information, it's not particularly difficult. We have a development kit for Severed Chains development kit, aptly named. And that is your baseline for building mods like this. All right, so when I guarded, I got selected action 1. That is what I wanted. Let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, so that does give something. That gives something when I open the menu, but probably not when I actually use an item. So I'm not sure that that will be as useful.
But why only do that much when you could code and reverse engineer an entire video game? I think you should shoot higher, Ninchi. Because that's kind of what I thought your question was at first.
That will take a little bit more.
Yeah. Especially if it's an RPG. I still need to find someone to help me with Hydro Thunder, which should be an easier thing to get under control. It's literally just boats and tracks, and you race the boats on the tracks. There's no circuit mode. There's no story. There's nothing. It's just the boats and the tracks, and the game logic for that. So hopefully, it would take less time than Legend of Dragoon.
Actually, chat, I have a bit of a confession to make.
Hmm.
Um, a few weeks ago, I may have gone slightly off on a tangent and accidentally reverse engineered and ported part of Mega Man Legends to the PC. Um,
Oops.
just maybe.
Oops.
Oops.
What was the console for that?
PS1.
PS1. Okay. PS1 games can get a big facelift in particular, I think, because like N64 it already looks pretty smooth, but PS1 you had no anti-aliasing and you had all those jagged pixels from the triangles or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can probably make the models look a lot better.
Oh, right. I was in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff there, so it is non-functional.
Did you tell their community yet?
No. Yeah, it just kind of happened. I don't know what to tell you.
Inspiration found you.
It may or may not work here. It's fairly unstable due to the interrupts. Sometimes it will deadlock, which is I mean this is using the same core as Legend of Dragoon did when I started porting that. So it has I mean basically the fundamental issues with what's going on here. And they're all sort of just fixed by getting rid of the parts of the emulation layer, but that can't really be done until certain milestones are reached. Anyway, this was the culmination of a few days' work, and I swear it does launch sometimes. Oh, here we
Hmm.
go. You'll notice the uh, perfect 5 or 6 frames per second.
Yep. Y'all remember? Some of you were definitely here when Severed Chains first became playable, and it started as a image slideshow.
Yeah, ship it. Good to go.
Yeah, it's ready. It's more work than anyone else is doing with the damn thing, so why not?
It was interesting seeing the code for a different PS1 title. In a lot of ways, the code is a lot more advanced than the LOD code. Um, Threads and things like that, which LOD doesn't. That made it much more complicated. I had to actually add a bunch of new features to the core. Anyway,
for
that
for
happened.
context, Mega Man Legends released in December of '97. I'm not sure which region that is, but that's apparently a little earlier than LOD.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Capcom, right? They're
Are threads just like an optional thing or recommended for most games?
It depends entirely on what you're doing. They use
Okay.
it for file loading. Although threads in the PS1 don't work the same as they do on like a modern computer. It's not like, simultaneously
Yeah.
executing code. The PS1 only has a single processing core. Um, it can't do simultaneous execution of more than one thread at once. So like a thread will switch to when you switch from one thread to another, it actually like, pauses the current thread and activates the other one that you're running. Um, so its usage is definitely kind of limited. It's more like coroutines. Yeah, and I mean, so like comparing this to like Legend of Dragoon, LOD was a good like year in before it rendered a single frame. So this was like 3 or 4 days of work. Um, so I think that kind of proves the point of it sort of proves my philosophy of how I wrote the PS1 core to be sort of like generic, not just for Legend of Dragoon, but just kind of like a PS1 hardware emulation layer with the BIOS and kernel implemented. Now, of course, with this, I didn't have to write any of the, well, I mean, I had to update the hardware layer and stuff like that, but I didn't have to write a lot of it, which saved a ton of time. And I also know a lot more about the PS1 than I did when I started LOD. Of course, when I started LOD, it was literally, nothing. I knew nothing about the PS1 hardware or the kernel or BIOS or MIPS assembly or anything like that. Um, so that definitely has helped to speed things along.
All right. Question.
Sure.
So we're at almost 2.5 hours. Do you want to continue, or should we stop here?
I think we'll probably wrap it up here. Um,
Okay.
I think this is a pretty good stopping point. If we were to actually start doing any more actions, that would be, another probably hour and a half. And I don't
Yeah.
have that in me tonight. I don't know about you.
But we do that so many times. It's common.
Yeah.
No.
Denigrad
Short.
asks, would the PS2 be a whole new beast? As far as the hardware emulation layer and the kernel and BIOS go, yes. The PS1 and 2 do share a fair bit of similarities. And just my knowledge on emulation and stuff like that would be uh, a very large boon compared to when I first started uh, porting LOD. Obviously it's been over 3 years now, and I have learned a lot, um, about how hardware works, how low-level code works in terms of interacting with, disk drives and GPUs and et cetera, et cetera. Um, so it would definitely go faster. But that being said, PS2 games are also quite a bit more complex. So depending on the game, it would probably still be a lot faster and more smooth than LOD went, um, but there would be a lot more code involved. Would love to learn Java. I need to learn a few frameworks for a different project first. Yeah, I mean, getting into modding is a really good way to learn programming. That's sort of how I learned. Was actually well, I started out originally learning. Dad taught me on the Commodore 64. And from there, I started doing VB5 and then VB6. Um, I really got into it, just messing around with a very, very old game engine written in VB6 called Mirage. And I took that and kind of ran with it, updated it to DirectX 8 and added a bunch of new features and stuff like that, like being able to move in between the different rendering layers and just whatnot. Um, and yeah, actually, modding is what got me into reverse engineering as well, because I was hired to reverse engineer some old mods that were no longer being maintained, um, and port them to newer versions of Minecraft. First grow the beard, second get ADHD. Actually, that was the other way around. The ADHD happened first, the beard is more recent. I mean, you've got the foundation, Vinci. Just just take it from there. You need to find a project that you can hyperfixate on. And on your third or fourth day of no sleep, something will click. Advice from Monoxide. Yeah, step three is definitely obsessing.
Bonus advice: do something you're really passionate about, you want to see happen. You're tired of no one else doing it, so eventually you just pick up every hat that hasn't been picked up yet. Um, that is simultaneously bad and good advice, but if you hang in there, it might just work out.
Yeah. Ontario, I'm not sure when exactly you left, but we got to a point where I was able to. So when the battle started, it was my turn. So Drew was unable to take any actions. Drew's battle menu was just disabled. I took my action, which was to defend. Um, that disabled my action menu and enabled Drew's, and Drew was then able to take a turn. Now, there's still a lot of stuff missing there, a lot of synchronization missing. It did not, it doesn't sync over the guard or anything like that. And Drew's actions do not sync back to the server yet, but yeah, it is a very, very big step. Very, very important. And I think it kind of proves that what we're doing here is possible, even if we really, really have to dig into the engine to get it done. But, we'll be working on this again on the next dev stream next Wednesday. So who knows how far we'll be able to get then? Maybe we'll actually get the action synchronizing. That would be really something. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think we can do it. We'll get something done.
We'll get something
With
done.
with Corey's coding expertise and my moral support, we can make anything happen.
Yep. Oh, also, Ontario, I revealed that I accidentally started porting Mega Man Legends to the PC. Yeah.
I'm actually a lot more excited than I let on right now. I'm just a little tired, and also I'm still buffering all of my excitement for eventual PvP. So like I am permanently excited. I'm just conserving my energy.
Yeah,
Thank you
accidentally.
all.
It just kind of just happened. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, just like implicit conversions doing the PS1 catalog expansion for PS4 and 5. It was an accident, they said. They formed the whole company on accident apparently.
Yeah, sometimes I just do things,
I
and
did
I don't control what the brain does.
I did archiving on accident. You're doing this, and we're all just here in the end. We're just here.
Yeah. Mega Man Legends, also called Mega Man 64 for the N64.
So thank you all so much for joining us today. I am stepping out myself, anyways, so I will put a few links in chat for y'all as per usual.
Yeah, anybody who's not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe if you like what you see here. We do this almost every single Wednesday. We will be continuing this series on working on the multiplayer. Next week we will hopefully get some actual action synchronizing. Um, yeah, don't forget to like the video, comment on it once it's done if you wouldn't mind. It helps out the us in the algorithm a lot. If you like what you're seeing here, and you want to support me and my projects, then there is a link to my Ko-fi on screen. You can send a single donation or subscribe monthly. Drew has also linked that in the chat. Thank you, Drew. Thank you
Sure thing.
to all of my current subscribers and everybody who has sent in a recent donation. I don't have the list up right now, unfortunately. But yeah, huge thank you to everyone. And I hope you all have a very good night. I'll see you on Discord or next Wednesday on the Devstream.